Hello and welcome to another workout video. It's me showing off my new squat shoes that I recently bought from TYR Sports with their collaboration with Squat University. I saw these for the first time on Squat University's page. I knew I had to buy them because of that black and gold colour. It just hits different. As you can see, my whole outfit is literally black with some gold applications like the gold emblem across my chest. Even the squats even has a gold logo on it. So in my recent videos I did a 1 rep max attempt for both the deadlifts and my bench, and this time it's more to build up to a potential one for squats. This is a workout that I did prior to attempting those bench and deadlift attempts, and it's always a way of just establishing whether I can actually attempt this 1 rep max in the future. So I'm just putting on my shoes and then getting ready to start my workout. First off, we're just going to start off with the warm-up sets. Prior to this, I've already done my main stretching, warming up, doing the stuff that I did initially before my deadlift attempt. That's a staple for every leg day that I do, so I don't really feel like I need to show it or show it again because it's more or less the same thing over and over again. But, you know, when you are consistent and always doing the same things, it's always a nice way of building a good habit that you stick to. So first off, I'm just going to do my warm-up sets. There's always up to 10 reps. And the way I've arranged it this time is that I'm only going to do 4 reps at 60%, 3 reps at 70%, 2 reps at 80%, and 1 rep at 90%. And the percentages is just based off what the 1 rep max attempt is going to be, which will be 130 kg. And then as for my working sets, it's going to be 1 set for 2, 3 sets for 4. The one set for 2 will be at 95%, and then the 3 reps for 4 will be at 90%. Yeah, a lot of my workouts are based off percentages, so every time I'm always talking about percentage of a certain weight, and then working around whatever the 1 rep max is, and then working out the percentages of that to do all the other exercises. Each exercise is always supposed to be done at a certain percentage, and that's more or less what I based it off. At least for now, it's working. When it starts working, then it'll be time to adapt and to change my strategy. Yeah, so the weight was moving nice in the warm-ups. I don't actually like squatting in a vat like this. I always prefer where there is no barrier of sorts. That means that I can just go as low as I can, or at the fear that I could go so low that I could actually touch it. I think I'm not so small for that to be an effect for me. I have noticed that by wearing these squat shoes, I am taller than I normally am because of the elevated heels on them. So that may have also contributed to why I was far more comfortable than I usually am. Because before buying these shoes, I would just do barefoot. It's probably the best thing to do if you don't have, say, the resources or the actual shoes to squat with. It's always better just to go barefoot because you want to feel like your feet are planted on the ground and you truly have a wide base for when you begin the movement. And I feel that with certain shoes it can actually impede you, especially flat shoes, because it might impede how low you can go, how much depth you can get in the squats. And I feel that I always got better results from barefoot, so I always trained barefoot. And then I was always planning to buy these specific squat shoes because of who endorsed them, because I always follow Squat University for a lot of advice. Many of my warm-up routines, little drills to do with mobility, have come from just following posts from his channel, both his page and Instagram, and also his YouTube channel. And there's a lot of good advice on there. I think when I was here, there was other people doing squats and they were taking up all the 20 and 25k plates. They were the ideal racks I wanted to do my working sets on and my warm-ups as well. So that's why I have this weird arrangement where I'm just going up through 15 and 10k plates. I can still at least get to the number that I want. That's all that matters. Well, I've chosen to arrange them in a very funny way, which is like yellow, green, green and yellow. looks like a lollipop, or something that would look like a lollipop. I always put on my belt once I get up to 80%. I think, at least for me, anything that I do that's above 80% of the 1 rep max is always something where I should use a belt. You don't want to become too reliant on a belt for everything, and you want to at least develop your own internal core strength rather than using a belt. I mean, you could think of a belt like a clutch. Like, it will be necessary when you're doing heavy weights because you want to do things safely, but when you're doing lower weights, you should really have your inner strength should be able to cope with the weight. So you shouldn't need any accessories such as a belt. In fact, that's probably a good way of seeing a weightlifting belt. It's just an accessory. It's not really something that you must use or you have to use. It's more to assist you into lifting heavier weights. Okay, so here's my attempt at doing the 2 reps at 95%. This is roughly 122.5k. The true value of 95% is 123.5, but we just round to the nearest 2.5 because I can't exactly stack up 123.5. Yeah, and I feel like I got good depth in both of those reps. I felt strong doing them. Even though I was a bit off physically, I was still able to do it. And yeah, by essentially doing that, it kind of gives me the green light of, yes, I can attempt 130k for a 1 rep max in the future. So yeah, so here's my attempt at doing 117.5 for 4 reps. This was, though, quite a while ago from when this will come out. So it's not exactly like I'll jump onto doing 130k anytime soon because of the little break that I've had, but it's something that can be done once I get back to the fitness levels I was back before I took my break. But the key thing for me is to find a sensible place to do 1 rep maxes for squats where I am actually safe. At least with the bench, I could say it's getting to a point where soon, even though I was able to do 100 and 110 fine, it's getting to weights where I probably will need a spotter. I might have to either ask someone or maybe go to the gym with someone whilst doing that workout. Deadlift, that's always fine because if I can't lift it, it just doesn't come off the ground, so deadlift is never a worry. So moving on in the workout, we started to do some deadlift accessories. I did 2 specifically just for this workout. These always reflect what the new 1 rep max attempt is going to be. So previously I've already attempted 1 rep max of 115 kg. Now the new target is 225 kg. These accessories are always at a specific percentage of the 1 rep max. So obviously moving from one set value to another means that the accessories have to follow suit. Now, normally prior to attempting a 1 rep max, all these accessories would be at the percentages that I want. So for banded, that's 70%. And then for the second one that I do is always 50%. So banded was 150 kg. And then sumo is 110 because half of 215 is 107.5. So moving up, we just naturally go to 110. It's an easy one to figure out because there's always going to be half of what the new 1 rep max is. So there's a whole strategy that I do setting up to a 1 rep max. Maybe I might talk about it in more detail. Probably need to use spreadsheets or something because it is a bit numbers heavy. Film it, but we did finish off with some standing calf raises. We can't neglect calves forever. And that was that workout. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, onwards and upwards.